BodyBags, where horror lies.
Rob Georgia here with you, aka VHS82 apostrophe. I'm your regular Wednesday evening host here on BodyBags. It is the second weekend. It is a label week. It is a potpourri of labels this week. We all get to choose our own label and just have fun with it. So I thought I'd do something interesting. And I thought I would, you already know the movie in question here that I'm going to focus in on is the Universal release of Land of the Dead, George A. Romero film. Of course, the fourth in the series, the Dead series, being Night, then Dawn and Day, and of course, Land. And I have a very, very specific reason in terms of label and why I decided to choose this. It does help that no one's ever talked about Land of the Dead, so I'm not going to really talk about the film per se a whole lot because there's something else I want to talk about more. But it is, I'm sure we're all mostly familiar with George A. Romero's Dead films, and you know, there's probably some varying opinion on Land. Some love it, some hate it. I don't know if hate's a strong word, or maybe just choose not to watch it very often. It does have the unique thing going for itself that it is a return, George's return to the big studio, and so it is what, 15 to 19 million, I think, brought back almost 50 million. And so it is the biggest budgeted Dead film. It was his return to not only the big studio, but huge theatrical. I'm pretty sure it had a pretty big theatrical. I remember the poster advertising campaign, and how awesome was it going into a movie theater, seeing the poster up there for Land of the Dead and George's little signature, Stay Scared, I think. It was just a great moment to see this thing in the theaters on a big screen. And yeah, in studio interference, and yeah, George regretted it, and yeah, George never went back again for more. But I think it's neat. It's almost sort of like Phantasm. Coscarelli's Phantasm 2 is the one big studio venture with it. It's nice that we have a big studio film. It's more money, more to play with, man. And yeah, it's not George's. George was not absolutely pleased with the final product, as we say, due to the studio interference and whatnot. But it is what it is. We got a pretty good one. So one of the things I wanted to talk about, really mostly real quick here, is this is the standard DVD release for Land that came out. The cover art is absolutely horrific. It's horrendous. I absolutely hate it. Makes me gag. Makes me want to throw up. I just can't absolutely stand it. One day I'm surfing on Amazon UK. Now I'm region free, so I can purchase anywhere I want. And I see this. Take a look at that. Now, other than a couple things I'll mention, the UK DVD edition, besides the absolutely insane artwork, is the reason why I picked it up. The menu screens are pretty much the same. Content's still pretty much the same. But this is, even though it doesn't say it, this is widescreen, where this one, of course, is full screen. Now let me put the two up there like that. So this is full screen, widescreen, and there may actually, you know, this is really weird to even suggest, but it just, I was revisiting this with George's commentary on, and it just seemed like, I'm almost positive he said a couple things, and I don't recall hearing them via this commentary, but I do remember hearing them on this. So there's a question: is it possible that this commentary track could be slightly edited or different than, say, this one that's released in the UK? It's always possible. But this idea, that's for my label. What I really want to do is just I guess if you're not aware, and most of you probably are, but you know, some may not be, if you have a region free player, which you can go on Amazon and find you a good, decent, not terribly too priced, 150, 60 bucks or whatever, all the way up to 300, 400, 500, whatever. Get yourself a half decent region free player And you can just, if you live in the U.S., you can go out and just shop the world, man. And I wanted to, you know, if it's just for better artwork, and yeah, that seems kind of silly to spend money, especially today, on something just to have different artwork. But at the time when I picked this up, things weren't like today, and I could splurge a little bit, and it really wasn't that much money. I mean, it was chump change, really. Over this one, I'm an artwork guy, man. I'm a kid of the 80s. I go into the VHS store. Artwork is the selling point on what VHS titles you're picking up. So it is what it is, right? Another cool difference, y'all know the Rob Zombie's Halloween 2. I don't really have any issues at all with this cover. The artwork, it's pretty cool. I got the theatrical poster on my wall, framed. But here's the German edition. And that's pretty cool, man. When I saw that, I had to jump on it. I had to get it. Now, and even check out the disc, man. The disc is really cool. And that's what you can get when you're shopping overseas. Now, I got the Blu-ray set and everything, but just to make a point, on Halloween 3, you know, the standard poster art here, the US poster art, whatever, for that. In Germany, check out this. Now, you know why I had to pick that up. So this was straight from Amazon, Germany, I think. And yeah, I mean, actually I saw it on the big screen, so I got all that stuff stuffed in there. So the basic idea here, I just wanted to get across is, you know, there's hidden potential to be able to, if you're building up a collection and you want to display, like, just to say you're a huge fan of George's films and you just really wanted to display all of them facing outward. I don't know who in their right mind would want to display this, but I can probably think of everyone who'd want to display this one. And so just being able to shop online gives you an opportunity to differentiate some of your pieces that you can showcase outward, just because the artwork that you can pick up in Germany, Italy, just Amazon UK is absolutely superior to something that would have come out here. Now, Mark Schullery, I think his name is the guy who designed this. He's not really doing movie posters anymore. He did them for a while. This, I think, was just a standard company that probably put this together in 2 seconds. And it sucks, man. It sucks. But I'm pretty sure this was the poster, actually, if you walked into a movie theater to see Land of the Dead. Now, real quick, just real quick on the movie itself, not really reviewing the movie itself. But if you're not familiar with The Land of the Dead, it's the fourth piece. None of the films are really connected tightly. It's just different pictures of this present condition of this, the living dead infesting the earth, right? Land of the Dead kind of takes off, you know, not in the terribly too far distant future of Day of the Dead, but every film has its own unique political message. And at the heart of this one, this is a post 9/11 film. And so George is, you know, this is an opportunity for him to, I think Dennis Hopper in here delivers a line about not negotiating with terrorists. And so, you know, George had some political feelings about how the U.S. was engaging. I don't know so much about Afghanistan, but definitely everything that fell afterwards, Iraq, the Iraq War and everything else, right? It just seemed like maybe 9/11 was, and I don't say this lightly at all, but it seemed like maybe possibly, an excuse is so wrong word, but was allowed us the opportunity to widen our foreign policy in a way to do, basically to take care of some things that maybe we should have taken care of a whole lot earlier, or maybe not have, had we done things in the right way, better way. And so it's like, you know, 9/11 hits and almost suddenly you have this blank check effect. And how do you use that blank check? And I think that's probably part of George's critique underlining this film, and the freedoms too. And class struggle is here in this film. You know, you got Dennis Hopper basically controlling this high rise in the middle of Pittsburgh, you know, between the two rivers, and they've sort of sanctioned for themselves a safe zone. Fiddler's Green, I think it's called in there, right? And who else is in here? John Leguizamo, I probably butchered that, Cholo, and you got Asia Argento, Simon Baker, Dennis Hopper, Robert Joy, Tom Savini, Greg and Nicotero show up as zombies. Savini is Machete Zombie. They couldn't use because of different studios doing the other films. Pretty sad when you can't put the real character name, so they just created Machete Zombie. Greg Nicotero plays a zombie in here. Of course, Eugene Clark is Big Daddy, right? But also, too, Bub from Day of the Dead has a minor cameo at the beginning, or at least it's played off as probably Bub. It doesn't really quite look at it, and when you really go back and see that short, quick cameo note, he is sort of acting out of character, I think. Then again, this could be Bub just wandering post Day of the Dead, and any civilizational attributes that he was sort of refining in a really limited scope, he probably just threw them by the wayside and just said, you know what, it's time to hunt. Let's just go eat. But it is pretty cool. It's there nonetheless. So again, huge. This was 05. This came out, and then of course Survival would follow after, Diary, and but anyways, enough of that. So I'm sure most of you have all seen this movie. But this movie, man, this movie does have some interesting things to applaud. It is our Phantasm 2 of the Dead franchise, really. And it's nice that we at least have one of these films in the franchise. It's bigger scope, bigger, more money. The effects are a little bit richer, right? And there's a couple practicals in here that are just insane. And some of the CGI is well used too, I think. So anyways, on week, it is 489, second weekend, label week. I really just wanted to take a minute. Oh, K&B delivers the effects here. And I just wanted to kind of just remind you that you do have options if you're region free. And artwork matters to you, especially if you want to face something outward. And that is much nicer to face out than, say, that. And again, you know, like the German release of some films are always different. And then some of the steel books and stuff that are out there. There's just awesome stuff out there, man. And again, money is really a sore issue with a lot of people right now at this time. But when able, and you are able to splurge a little bit, and you are region free, just remember you can do a little surfing on Amazon UK or some of the specific country Amazon sites, and find some unique artwork out there that you can get your hands on. And some of it's chump change, man. Some of these things, you're not really buying for the value of what's inside. You're just buying for the artwork, man, because it just looks cool. So anyways, leave it there with that. Second weekend, 489. Label week, Potpourri sort of week. So you're going to just get just a ton of different stuff, right, across. And as we move on further, I think this is an extra week in this month, so there'll be an extra random week tossed in here as well. So there you go, man. George A. Romero's Land of the Dead, a little short discussion on artwork and opportunities that are out there to find some cool stuff that's out there. As always, we end these things off with Go Bills.
This is not a dream.